and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome to the Champions League. And this is when it starts to get really important and really crucial for Xavi and for Barcelona. We face here a make-or-break game against Inter Milan, live from the Camp Nou. And in today's video, we are going to be discussing in some detail how we can break them down, how we can work our way through what we expect to be a very solid, very firm Inter defence, sitting deep and soaking up pressure. We are going to be discussing all of the possible tactics that we could see, the big decisions that Xavi is going to have to take on, and what we need to do to get this win. It is all coming up today for you. So come on, and let's do it. Because we do stand here, guys, just 1 week on from the reverse fixture of this one in Group C. And of course, there were plenty of extremely questionable refereeing decisions on the night, which didn't help us at the San Siro. But the firm fact is this: Barça did not perform. We did not find a way to break into down. We did not find a way through their very resolute back line. And if we're going to give ourselves any chance at all of qualifying for the knockout stages in the Champions League, we have to see change. We have to see a different Barça, a different setup, really, here at the Camp Nou. And let's start by talking about what we're up against first. Because when you are looking at Inter and their setup here under Simone Inzaghi, it is very much likely to be something very similar to what we saw in that reverse fixture. Obviously, it's going to be 3 at the back there, 3 centre-backs for Inter. That is very much 5 at the back, and expect that in this game. Inter, of course, will have that 3-man midfield. I thought they were very energetic at the San Siro. They showed for me more intensity, more hunger in that midfield than we did, in my opinion. And in attack, they're going to leave 2 players up there who are always going to be ready to hurt you on the counter-attack. But what we can expect from Inter is, for me, them to be more defensive, if that's even possible, in this game. They're going to sit even deeper, and it's going to be right from the word go. They feel they have something to protect already, and we're going to see that. They're going to keep dropping in. They're going to close down all of that space. There's going to be nothing in behind for us. Everything is going to be in front of Inter, which means we have to have a plan, which means that Xavi has to find a way through that deep block. Now, first of all, if we do focus on the centre-backs at Barca, now this is something that's quite straightforward in this game, in my opinion. We don't have an abundance of options in that area. Gerard Piqué and Eric Garcia widely expect to play at centre-back, and I think both of them, they are brilliant on the ball. That's one thing that you have to say about the two of them. They're very, very good on the ball, and in this kind of game, where we're going to dominate, where we're going to be in Inter's half, we need them at times to step out, to step into midfield at times, actually draw one of those Inter midfielders out of their specific role, draw them in, and then find the space in behind. We can actually unlock the midfield by using our centre-backs well, and especially somebody like Eric there. He does that a lot. He steps out, he's very, very composed in that area, and he can find those long, very accurate passes into pockets of space. Then you have, most likely, the possibility of Sergio Busquets at the base of that midfield, and what I want to see from him is what we saw against Celta, where I felt he was a lot more aggressive in the final third, because that's what we need in this game. It is no good him sitting in there and just being pedestrian, making sideways passes, taking a lot of time on the ball, taking a lot of touches. We will need somebody in that midfield to be a metronome. It needs to be quick. We need to move the ball quickly to try and catch Inter out of their shape. Busquets needs to be aggressive in the press. He needs to win the ball back high up the field, and we need him to be on the money in this game. And this is when the questions start. This is when the real decision-making comes in for Xavi coming into this one, because what we absolutely have to do is have width in our attack, because we saw that against Inter. Even in the reverse fixture, we were able to do that, whereby the wingers there stretch that Inter defence right out. You've got Dembele. Now, is he going to be on the right? Is he going to be on his more natural side? Or are we going to shift him over to the left-hand side? Because if Rafinha is going to play, he must be on the right, not on the left. That is not an option, and Dembele would need to go over to the left. But if we imagine here for a second that it's Dembele on the right, then what he's going to do there is stay nice and wide, drag those wing backs as wide as they can possibly be, but that's only then an advantage to you if we exploit that space in between the centre-back and the wing-back, and that has to come from the full-back, in my opinion, there. And the question then would be, do you want Balde on his more natural side, on the left? Do you want him attacking that space on the left? Or do you want him on the right because you don't trust Roberto, and then you play somebody else on the left? Now, whoever it is, they've got to make inverted runs. They have to consistently run into the space there that's generated from our wingers being wide. But the question that I would ask then would be, is it going to be different, though, on the left side? Because if that's not Dembele, you might have a different threat there. Because, like I say, it can't be Rafinha. It might be Ansu Fati. Now, that would be an entirely different situation. Now, I feel he would have been much more suited in the reverse fixture, because actually, he's going to come inside, and that then causes a different problem for the defence. Then, you need an overlapping run. You need a fullback there to be constantly going on the outside, because Ansu's cutting in. So we need to find the right combinations. Xavi here has to complement the players out there with good partners on both of those wings, because then it's all about the space. Because once those fullbacks then are attacking the space in between the inter wing backs and the inter centre backs, what you have then is a bit of uncertainty there. Because what you have then is a centre back from Inter having to move out to the wider area to block them off, to cover that runner. And what that then means is that in the centre of the field, there's a little bit more space, there's a little bit more room, because those inter centre backs, they don't want to move out wide. If you're in a back three, the last thing that you want to do is being dragged out into wider areas. You're not a fullback, you're not comfortable in that area, but you want to drag them out there. We want to force them into unfamiliar territory, so then you've got space in the middle. And this is what we spoke about after the Inter game. We need a midfielder who's going to run in there. We need Frankie de Jong in this game to be really attack-minded. That's what I want to see from him. We know that he can do it. We know that he can make really intelligent runs into the box, and he has to do it here. Pedri as well is capable of it too. We need midfielders running into that Inter penalty area and basically causing a big distraction. But it doesn't end there either. There are plenty more things that we can do to disrupt that defence, to cause an uncomfortableness in that Inter back line, because we need to get somebody close to Robert Lewandowski. It is no good leaving him isolated, surrounded by players in that penalty area, especially then if you've got crosses coming, which we don't want to do too many of, but there may be low balls into the box, there may be accurate passes in that final third, and we need to get someone in behind him. I'm looking again if it's Ansu Fati selected. He is somebody who could complement Lewandowski. He could be really dangerous and really key in that area for us. But if it's not Ansu, and again, there's plenty of combinations here, if you were to play Dembele on the left, Rafinha on the right, there's a different solution too. Because then, what about shots from range? What about having attempts there from long range? Because when a team sits off like this, guys, we got it yesterday against Celta Vigo, when there's so many players packed in really deep, why not try your luck? Why not have a go on goal? Because you could get a deflection. The goalkeeper might be unsighted. He might not see the ball until late. And you've got a player like Rafinha, who is so good from range. Well, why not have a go? And we have to make sure here, Xavi has to make sure that he's looking at his players, looking at what we can do, and looking at all these different ways to get through Inter, to cause them problems, to ultimately create more chances than we did at the San Siro. We are capable of more. We can do more. But we've got to use our players. We have to use them, the strengths that they have, to the maximum. And all of this, of course, let's not forget, guys, all of this is coming on Wednesday in front of a packed stadium. An enormous atmosphere inside of the Camp Nou. And we know we cannot fail. So indeed, guys, that right there is an early look at what we have to come. Such an important game, such a pivotal game for our Champions League hopes. It is all coming up on Wednesday. And of course, closer to the time, we're going to be talking through the match in detail. We're going to be discussing exactly what we can see to come. Xavi's team in detail, Inzaghi's lineup in detail. It is all coming your way. This is a big week. This is a decisive week for our team. And I just want to see us do well. I just want to see us step up and arrive in these games. Please do let me know, guys, what you're expecting. How do you think we can break into down? What would you like to see us do out there on Wednesday night? Let me know your thoughts down below. All of your feelings right now as we build up to the big one. I will see you soon. Thank you for all of your support. But until next time, as always, Visca! Yeah, Barça.